My employer took my passport, which is 100% illegal in Bahrain. The place looked like a prison. Imagine sharing one bathroom with 20 people. Smelled so strong that the odor filled the entire van. Is this really what I came here for? This was not the Middle East lifestyle people post about on social media. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. 我跳D, marhaban ana D. Thanks for tuning in again. And today, we're diving into a story that's very personal to me. And I think a lot of overseas workers or expats can relate to this. Because today, I am sharing my very first journey as an expat in Bahrain. The raw version. The parts no one talks about, the parts you don't see on Instagram or any social media. And honestly, the parts I had to survive. You know, living in Bahrain has been good for me. It's been amazing. I'm grateful, I am blessed. But honestly, the journey wasn't smooth when I first started, of course. I want to share a mistake, actually, a regret, that I wish someone told me earlier. Because if you are planning to work in Bahrain, this story might save you from the stress, the confusion, and the pressure that I personally went through. And trust me, Bahrain will only become easy for you if you understand this one thing. Your contract matters more than your salary, more than the company name, more than anything else. So let's talk about it today. Are you ready? Buckle up, because this is going to be a fun ride. Before we start, let me paint a picture of Bahrain for those who've never been. Bahrain is a small island nation in the Middle East. It's very modern, very organized, very clean, and full of expats, of course. Like, seriously. More than half of the population are foreigners working here. You will see Filipinos, Indians, Pakistanis, Nepalis, Africans, Europeans, Russians, all kind of nationalities trying to build a better life. I could really say it's peaceful, it is safe, and it's known to be one of the most relaxed GCC countries. But, and there is always a but, your expat journey will always depend on the company that brings you here. Some people arrive and, of course, live like kings. Others, well, they fight for their basic rights. And my story? It was not the luxury type. So when people ask me, is Bahrain a good place to work? It is safe? Is the pay okay? My answer is always the same. Yes. But only if your contract is good. Because let me tell you something real. My biggest mistake was signing my contract without thinking, because I was a first timer and I don't really know what to do. So I was just like, go with the flow. Because I was in a hurry. I never asked anyone. Of course, and that's on me. Now, I'm not here to blame the company or anybody. I am just here to share my experience, because maybe you won't repeat the same thing. If I can only guide everyone, I will certainly do it. So way back in 2022, I was hired by what was supposed to be one of the leading companies in Bahrain. So this company is well known in Bahrain. And because my mom used to work here in Bahrain, which is originally supposed to be a teacher, but got scammed and ended up as a domestic helper. So you can imagine how careful I was. I researched the agency, I checked reviews, I waited almost 6 months for approval. And eventually I got the call. You're flying to Bahrain. I didn't pay for my flight. They deducted everything from my salary. But of course, the medical fees, I have to pay those myself. And you know what? At that time, I was so excited. Nervous, but of course excited. Because this was my very first overseas job. Like, I finally break the chain. Finally get out of the Philippines. I finally went somewhere. And when we landed in the airport, I was impressed. Honestly. The airport was huge. It was clean. Like clean, clean. Again, it's huge, it's organized, it's smooth, safe. So that time, a company driver picked us up. It was Ramadan and still during COVID season. So the whole environment felt calm and spiritual. It's also my first time seeing people praying outside, families eating together after sunset, women in abayas, and the mosque chants echoing around the city. Everything was so new and different to me. And as a first time overseas Filipino workers, it felt surreal. I actually thought, okay, this might be a good start, this might be a good experience. And then reality slapped me. We arrived at our quarantine accommodation, and let me tell you, I thought I entered a horror movie. The place looked like a prison. Dirty beds, dirty bathrooms, dirty kitchen. And when I say dirty, I mean dirty. To the point we had to clean it up by ourselves. I looked around and thought, is this really Bahrain? Did I fly all the way here for this? We were not allowed to go out because of quarantine, and that made everything feel heavier. I was so stressed. I'm confused, disappointed. This was not the Middle East lifestyle people post about on social media. If you're a creator, a vlogger, or honestly just someone trying to grow on YouTube, stop struggling and use vidIQ. I swear this tool is like having a personal YouTube coach. It gives you keyword ideas, title ideas, trending topics, and even tells you exactly what your audience is searching for. Imagine having a cheat code that helps your videos get seen by thousands more. That's what vidIQ feels like. So if you want to level up your channel, go try vidIQ. Click the link in my description. It's free to start. Trust me, it's worth it. Moving forward, after 5 days, we got cleared negative COVID results. Then they said, okay, we'll take you to your actual accommodation. And I was thinking, finally, something better. The driver took us to Jidhafs, a neighborhood I had never heard of. I tried looking up on it, but nothing really caught my eye, except of the black flags, which I thought part of their traditions because it's Ramadan. So we went up to the 5th floor or 6th floor of an old building. One flat, 4 rooms. Each rooms had 5 to 6 people. And at that moment, my soul left my body. You know why? No privacy. Barely any space. Everyone had different shifts. Some were sleeping, some were getting ready for work, some were eating. You had to move like a cat just to avoid waking someone up. Imagine sharing a room with 5 strangers. Imagine sharing one bathroom with 20 people. Imagine sharing one bathroom with 20 people. Imagine lining up every morning just to shower. That was my reality. And I remember sitting on my bed. Actually, it's not even a bed. More like a thin film. and saying to myself, I cannot live like this. I just can't. Moving forward, let's talk about transportation. Based on my contract, there will be free one meal at work, free transportation, pick up, drop off, accommodation to workplace, vice versa. So again, there was a pick up and drop off van. If it was full, you waited another 15 minutes under the heat, summertime. My very first ride in that van, I swear, it was a whole different level of shock. The passengers, mostly Indian and Bangladeshi workers, smelled so strong that the odor filled the entire van. Even the driver smelled the same. I literally felt dizzy. I am not making this up. This is the reality. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to teleport back to the Philippines. And I endured that for 3.5 months. Every single day. Imagine dealing with this before and after work. Summertime, 40 to 50 degrees Celsius heat. Imagine that. And it's the reality. Anyway, let's move to the workplace. The workplace, not what I signed up for. There was no cafeteria. You only have 10 to 15 minutes break. No chair to sit on. No proper place for employees who want to relax. If you wanted to eat, you stood in a corner. Like a rat hiding behind boxes, just trying to finish your food. You're not allowed to use your phone either. And I thought, is this really what I came here for? Just to be treated like this? For people who judge and say, I'm just being too much or I'm just being dramatic. No. It's not being picky. It's knowing your worth. I know what I can do. I know what I bring to the table. And this environment was killing my spirit. So here's the fun part. I took action. I started reading LMRA laws. So LMRA means Labor Market Regulatory Authority, a government body in the Kingdom of Bahrain responsible for organizing the labor market, managing work permits for expat workers, licensing recruitment agencies, and ensuring fair practices for employers and employees. To summarize, it's all about employee rights, employer obligations, everything. I found a job hiring in a big company. I didn't care if the salary was higher or lower of what I was earning currently. I cared about my sanity. So I applied, I got accepted. Two amazing people, it was an Egyptian and a Filipina, helped me with the whole process. They guided me like a family. They guided me all throughout. And then I checked my contract again and look what I found. I want to show you this part. Clause 7. The employee shall be on a probationary period of 3 months. The agreement could be terminated within this period if both parties are not satisfied with the work and should give 1 day prior notice. It was my loophole, my freedom clause. Plus, my employer took my passport, which is 100% illegal in Bahrain. Never let your employer take your passport. Ever. So, let me show you this LMRA regulation. I'm gonna pull it up. Without a court order, an employer has no right to hold employee's passport whatsoever. The practice represents a violation of freedom of movement in contravention of Article 19B of the Constitution, which ensure the freedom of the movement of every person on the territory of Bahrain. Did you understand that? Is that clear to you? No employer is allowed to take your passport. Keep that in mind. So here's what I learned. When you arrive in Bahrain, you start with a contract and a visa. But here's the important part. And this is something a lot of workers do not know. Employer and employee can terminate the contract during the probation period if they are not satisfied. That means both sides have the right to say, hey, this is not working out. And no, it does not mean you did something wrong. Sometimes the company realizes you're not the fit they expected. That's why there's a probation period. Sometimes you realize the job is not what you were promised. But the problem is this. Most expats don't know their rights. They just suddenly panic. They're stressed. They overthink. They feel powerless when in reality, the law is very clear. Here's the battle I started with my company. And I am 100% sure I'm going to win this. So I resigned. The next day, HR called me in. And guess who was there? The same guy who hired me from the Philippines. I explained everything calmly. The accommodation, the transportation, the unhealthy work environment. This is not what I expected. And instead of listening, he tried to manipulate me, he said. So you just used us to enter Bahrain and transfer to a bigger company. Like, bruh. I just mentioned to you my issues with the company. That proves he has no accountability. He has no empathy, just pressure. Good thing, I voice recorded everything for future reference, of course. Then I coded my contract. Page 2, number 7, employer and employee can terminate the contract within the probation period if not satisfied. And he was so stunned. He's probably not expecting it from someone who is new in Bahrain. So he tried the last card. Oh, you need to pay 2,000 Bahrain Dinar if you want to leave the company. We paid for this and this and this. I knew he'd say that. So I replied, okay. Give me the breakdown of the 2,000 Bahrain Dinar. I will pay you. Make sure to put your complete name and signature on it. So he froze. He got frustrated and said, there's no point in talking to you anymore. He was not happy, and me at all. But then I still said thank you and have a great day. Because they don't accept my resignation. I had to do it the hard way too. So the next day, they approved my resignation. I only owed 20 Bahrain Dinar. I got my salary back. I finished my 30 days. And I walked away. I won the battle. I had my freedom. Got a new work, new life. They canceled my visa properly. I transferred to my new employer. And my life literally changed. I have better work, better environment, better accommodation, better transportation that smells good, better everything. This was the life I freaking imagined. This is it. So what's the point of my story? Know your rights. Always and always read your contract, because all your rights is stated there. Never accept the bare minimum just because you're abroad. And never let employers take your passport. That's 100% illegal. That's your personal identity. Even if you have the CPR, your passport should be with you all the time. Being an expat is not about suffering. It's not about being grateful for scraps. It's about working hard while respecting yourself. And if you feel something is wrong, come on, speak up. Bahrain has all the government agencies for expats. Your dignity is worth more than any salary. So let me say this straightforward. For anyone planning to work in Bahrain, before you sign anything, before you accept any offer, please do your research. Ask questions. Read every line, and I'm freaking serious. Read every line, and I am serious about it. Your contract should have English translation. Understand the probation period. Understand visa renewal. Understand what happens if things don't work out. Because if you don't know the system, you will feel lost. You will think people are against you. You will think you're in danger. But really, you just need knowledge. Knowledge is the key. So I hope that by sharing my story, my real experience, I can help even one person avoid the same mistake. Bahrain can be a great place to live and work, but only if you know your rights, and only if you understand your contract. Thanks everyone for watching. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. This is Dee. Until next time, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!